Here at the Liquor Locker on 41 and Riverside Drive in Evansville. Deb Turner here from WKDQ. Dave is here with me today. We are here because I'm a huge wine enthusiast and I'm a huge Girl Scout cookie lover. I'm sure Dave is too. We are going to pair wine with some Girl Scout cookies, and let me introduce to you Jason. Jason Watson is the assistant general manager here at Liquor Locker, and Jason has chosen some wine that will pair beautifully with some Girl Scout cookies. We have 3 different Girl Scout cookie brands here. We've got peanut butter, we have shortbread, and we have thin mint. I love Girl Scout cookies. You, Dave?
I do. I'm not a huge wine guy, so I'm looking forward to this because I can eat cookies and drink wine all the time. So let's start with the peanut butter ones.
Let's
do
do
that first.
Yeah, and I think this works really well because I'm not the biggest of cookie guys, but I do have a lot of pastry experience in my past. So what we've done is we've tried to pair wines with the Girl Scout cookies that are kind of going to go in a course as we would for dinner.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of start with the appetizer style. That's going to be a little bit sweeter side, and then we're going to move to the thin mints, kind of let's call that the bulk of the meal. And then we're going to go to shortbread, which is also going to be sweet but still satisfying, and hit that with a nice bubbly. So David, if you want to pour the Apothic Red for us.
Absolutely.
One of the reasons we chose the Apothic Red today is simply because we're going at the peanut butter patties, peanut butter and jelly. Are you kidding me? So we want to go with something that has a real nice sweet tone to it, still very settled and smooth, not something that's going to be overly aggressive or overpowering. Apothic Red, it's a great wine to fit that bill. It's very popular, at least throughout this region. You can pretty much find it anywhere. That's one of the reasons we chose it. And I think as we taste the cookie, taste the Apothic Red, we're kind of going to see that peanut butter jelly aspect. So
Let's try it.
I can't believe this is all the wine I get. And so you can see, I mean, of course you get a little bit of that wine, alcohol, burn sensation through the nose and the back of your palate, but on the front of the palate, you should hit the peanut butter and then get the sweetness from the wine.
I tasted the peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, you really do, because that's the sweetness from the wine coming through, like right on the middle of your tongue. Then you get the alcohol, and then it settles real nice.
I tasted the
peanut butter patties are
what about
delicious.
you, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, talk about, like, you talk about peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's
I'm not a big red wine guy, but like that, I'm always about the dryness, but the flavors like that, it goes down so smooth, and you really are. It's like having like a little peanut butter jelly sandwich in your mouth.
And that's one of the great things about Apothic is you're not looking at something that's too overly aggressive as far as the tannins, as far as the alcohol burn, and it's not overly dry. It's a great introductory wine for people who are just getting into red wines because it does have that tinge of sweetness, and what I call it is a great table wine. It's something that not only your dry red lover can enjoy, it's also something that people that don't dig really dry red wines can start into and start to find their focus on what flavors they like to pull from, so on and so forth. So I think that one works.
That was a good pairing.
Cheers.
Perfect pairing with the peanut butter Girl Scout cookie and the Apothic Red. Delicious.
So I think we're going to move on now to the thin mints.
Okay.
And while we think about thin mints, obviously you're going to have the chocolate coating and the super, super sweet but minty center. Kind of something hard to pair with. So basically what we need to do is find something that is going to, excuse me.
Did you finish that?
Oh,
Reach across the table. We're very unsophisticated here.
I like wine more than cookies.
I should have finished that, huh?
So we want to find something that is going to cut through that dark chocolate but complement the mint. And what we're looking at here is a 2013 Moto Zen out of California. Zens not only have become really super popular as far as dry red wines, and we're not talking about white Zens, we're talking about red Zens. They've also, I think, helped lead into the red blend fashion that we're in right now, where people are just dropping really good grapes and mixing them together to balance their wines out and not be so aggressive. This is one of those wines.
What would be the biggest difference between the Apothic Red and this? Just the dryness of it?
What you're going to find with the Moto is, obviously, yes, it's going to be quite a bit drier.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to have the sweetness.
Okay.
It's going to have more tannins. When we talk about tannins, what I always try to explain with tannins is it feels like there's fur on your tongue, or you get really tacky to the top of your mouth. A lot of people like tannins, some don't. So when you go with the sweeter reds, you're going to find much, much, much less tannins in your wines. When you go with your drier reds, the tannins continually go up.
Okay.
So those tannins are actually going to help cut that chocolate.
Okay.
But the dry red fruit is going to blend well with the chocolate.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then when you go into the mint, this has a pretty decent alcohol content. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's like, it's 14.5. So that alcohol is going to help cut the mint, but it's also going to meld with it in the sense that Mint is cool, alcohol is hot, so you should get a nice blend and balance right there.
Deb couldn't wait. She's already
I couldn't wait. I love chocolate mint. What a
And you
great
notice
pairing.
the pores get a little stiffer every time we
Well,
try
you know,
it.
you complained the first time.
No, I'm not mad at all.
I'm a listener, Jason. I listen. That is really
That's a good pairing.
You talk about the dryness, like the dry for me. You talk about that tackiness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't like about reds. And this really fights it with the mint. You don't even get that.
It cools it down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things, especially in the summer, so many people are scared to do really dry, spicy kind of, when I say hot, I mean by the alcohol content. 14.5% is pretty good alcohol content. They're scared to do those big, bold red wines in the summer because of the heat. But if you paired this with, let's say, a citrus mint salad or a nice calm ceviche with fresh fish, lemon juice, and a little bit of mint, a little bit of citrus zest, boom, perfect. Everything's going to meld well together because you have things that are sweet, spicy, hot, and when you put them together, they kind of cool that mint.
Well, you know, it was smooth. I noticed that.
The smoothness of the
It was very smooth.
Cuts of chocolate
ate the chocolate
enhances
mint,
the mint.
and then I drank this, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's very smooth. I like that.
That's a good pairing right there.
It was very
fun.
good.
That could be a fun Saturday night.
I agree.
A bottle
Absolutely.
of Thin Mints and a bottle of that. I think you're
Oh,
good to
yeah.
go.
I think that's a
On that
lonely
one.
Saturday night, but
Yeah.
still fun.
That's all right. You invite one person over, you're good to go.
Not bothering me a bit.
And I could go through the whole thing. That's the problem. I can't
Exactly.
stop eating the mints, and I couldn't stop drinking the wine.
I
That's
have
the
a video
problem.
right there.
Plenty of wine. You just got to find the cookies.
You know, and if you don't have the Girl Scout cookies at home, if you've saved it, you know, you could always go out to the store and buy
Or anything like a
something
mint
similar.
cookie, yeah.
Right.
Something that was very good. That was a great pairing. I like that. I
Now the
wasn't
next
sure about
cookie,
that.
the next cookie, the shortbread is always a drier cookie. So we're gonna go with something completely
Sorry.
different, right? With the white wine on this one.
Absolutely. And what we're going to do with the shortbread is, when you think about shortbread, you're looking at something that's quite a bit drier to the palate, and it's also going to have a little bit more sugar presence. I mean, obviously, peanut butter is sweet on its own, but shortbreads usually have a good amount of sugar, but they're balanced out with a whole lot of flour. There's not much else that goes into shortbread.
Yeah, it's kind of dry, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you need something that's going to make
Right.
that pop. Now, if we were to drink a, let's say even a sweet wet red or a nice dry red with the shortbread, what's going to happen is that red is just going to totally overpower the shortbread.
Yeah.
You're not even going to notice you're eating a cookie. And you're probably going to get a little funky taste from the butter and the flour. But what we want to do is match the butter with the butter. So Castillo de Poggio, Moscato di Asti. This has been one of the best sellers in this company for the last 4, 5, 6 years. The Astis are always going to be a little bit bubbly. Out of Italy, they're going to be a little bit sweet, but they're going to still be acidic. You're going to get green apple, pear, apricot flavors from it. So we need something to brighten the flour. So the butter is going to match with the butter, but instead of that bland kind of flour boringness, what we're going to do is back it up with a nice pop of spring, kind of summer, citrus, so on and so forth. So I would suggest, honestly, with this one, rather than biting the cookie first,
Are we dunking?
Drink.
Oh, I thought you were gonna dunk.
that, I mean, you can try. I hadn't thought about that.
I'm gonna
And
be a
that's
little kid. I'm
We
gonna
could.
dunk my cookie in my wine. 'cause-
But if you sip the wine, you get that bubble and you get that acid and that fruit, and then take a little bite of that cookie, it should actually make the cookie taste a little bit better. So
Isn't that funny how just, you know, a glass of wine can change the taste
Everything.
of your food?
absolutely. And that's what so
It's
many
just
people
amazing.
are learning these days. I mean, everybody has been so stricken with white wines go with fish and red wines go
Chicken.
with beef. No, you got to find what you like, and then you have to find things that actually complement each other.
Right.
Carrots and celery is the way I look at it. Celery is green, carrots are orange. The two don't mix until you put them in a pot, simmer them together a little bit, and the next thing you know, you got this perfect stew. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of find what you like and then enjoy it while you're doing it.
What
I
do you
tell
think, Dave?
Moscatos are one of my favorite wines to begin
I like
with.
that.
But you talked about taking that a little bit of a cookie and then the sip, the wine, that shortbread, because it's always so kind of this pasty
Dry.
in your mouth.
Yeah.
You lose all that with this, and you get that flavor of it still, but you lose that pastiness in your mouth.
Right, and this is a wine that has a lot of, it's naturally sweet, but it also has a good amount of acidity to it. So when you get it on the tongue, you get the acid, you get that pop, and then you kind of calm it down with the shortbread, where on the other two, we kind of had the cookie first and then made the wine pop. Now what we're trying to do is kind of make the cookie pop.
And it does that, because you get a little bit of flavor, because shortbread are not known for their flavor.
Yeah, they're just kind of
So,
boring.
It's very dry.
I'm going to have some more wine, though, because this is my favorite wine. And I'm going to grab another
That was a
cookie.
good pairing, too. Jason?
I think you're
Terrible.
3 for 3, Jason. Really,
Wow.
honestly, I think you're 3 for 3 on
If
that.
we had more cookies, we'd go for 5.
Oh my gosh.
We could just
I
drink
think
wine.
my favorite though,
That's what we're gonna do.
my favorite out of this pairing, I mean I loved them all, but I think my favorite were the peanut butter and the mints, more so than the shortbread. But it was a great pairing. I really loved it. But
I
that
love
was
the
my-
peanut butter and jelly one. 'Cause
Yeah, that
I'm
was
not a
good.
red guy, and I probably would have sat down here even before you started and said, no, reds are not my thing. That peanut butter and jelly gives me a whole new look on red wine. And
Yeah, I
the
mean,
taste of it,
it's
how
all
to
about,
use it.
it's changing the perspective. I mean, and that's what it's all about with pairing. Not everything goes with everything, but you can find great wines, inexpensive. I mean, none of these guys are over $14 a bottle.
Yeah.
You can find things that go together to fit your taste,
Because
my
everybody's
taste.
tastes are different.
Exactly. Everybody's
Yeah,
taste buds are different, and they're
everybody's taste buds,
constantly
yeah.
growing and dying and changing.
Right.
So, I mean, the point is to find stuff that you like, and then, find foods that you like, whether it's desserts, whether it's fruits, vegetables, meats, and then experiment and find what you like, and then you know where to go from there.
Exactly.
That's one of the things we're all about at the Liquor Locker is people come in all the time and they want to ask, what's a great red wine? Well, I don't know. What do you like? And even if you say one thing and I sell you something that I think you like, if you don't, I tell people, come back. Let me know what
Yeah.
you didn't like. Was it too dry? Was it too sweet? Was it too bubbly? Was it too expensive? I'm going to put you in a Cadillac that you want to be in,
Good for
not a
you.
Cadillac that you don't.
That's excellent.
Now,
That
which one-
is excellent.
Which one was your favorite out of the 3?
Mine
Yeah.
was actually the Zen and the Thin Mints. And personally, I love peanut butter patties.
Yeah.
Shortbreads, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
not really. Thin Mints, I do not like at all. I'm not a chocolate mint guy.
Really?
And I thought that those
was the
two
pairing of it was
went
That was
together.
delicious.
I thought it was money.
That was
Absolutely.
delicious. Well, we want to thank you for telling us
No,
thank you
absolutely.
how
so
to
much,
pair
man.
the
Appreciate it.
wines
Appreciate
with
your
different
time.
foods, and we did
Thank
it
you.
with the Girl Scout cookies today because that's very popular at this time of year.
Yeah,
Girl Scout
absolutely.
cookies, and we really do appreciate you telling us what goes well with that. But everybody's tastes are different, like you said.
That's part of
They
it.
need to come in here and ask for you. It's like, hey, what goes well with this food or that food? We're at the Liquor Locker, brand new location here, right?
It is Riverside and 41. This is our second newest location. We also just recently opened up a location on sort of the, call it northwest side on Fulton Avenue. And that's what we're all about. I mean, we're doing the best we can to educate our employees. We have a huge selection, huge variety of wines, spirits, cocktails, beers. And we want to have something that fits everybody. I mean, that's actually kind of the thing behind it.
Yeah.
And we're trying to educate our employees to help everybody get into that Cadillac that they want to be in. Booze is fun and it's meant to be fun.
Right.
Obviously, you shouldn't have too much fun with
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
But the one thing you should do is enjoy it. I mean, the stuff's not cheap. So find what you like, grow
Right.
from it, and enjoy it. And we're here to help you
Well,
do
I
that.
like- yeah.
See, next week we're doing beers and burgers, right? Is that what we're doing? Burgers and beer?
I think that sounds just about right
I
to
think
me.
we should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I'll
I'm
take
a big wine enthusiast, and I thank Dave for coming
No,
with me
and
because
again, yeah.
he's not a big wine enthusiast, and he got to try all this stuff.
And I was impressed. All
appreciate-
three,
Yeah.
all three, I would go home and tell my friends, "Hey, you got to try that."
And
even
that's
if you don't like wine.
That is
Yeah.
just it. That's how you keep moving forward. Not everybody likes the same things. You
Right.
find what you dig, and then you keep graduating from it.
So if people want to come to Liquor Locker, what are your store hours?
Oh gosh. So Monday through Thursday we're open every day, 7 a.m. to midnight, and then on Friday, Saturdays we're open 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next morning.
Is that at all Liquor Lockers?
Every one of them.
Good. So make sure you go to Liquor Locker. We enjoyed Jason. Thank you so much for
Hopefully
letting
I'm not
I think
working.
we should cheers, everybody.
I don't have any, but
You have some
okay.
wine over there?
Okay, a little bit.
Solitude.
Salute.